Soul Food family, how are you? How has your day been? How has your week been? How has your year been? How's your month been? I just was getting ready to take a nap, and I felt the Holy Spirit tell me to get up and deliver this message. So, this message is not from me, even though I'm delivering it. But the first question that came to my mind was, how many of you right now are scared, are nervous, are contemplating and worried about what's going to happen next and, how you're going to do this or how you're going to do that, or just feeling very anxious and kind of sort of like out of control and not really sure what to do? Um, I remember in 2020, when before the pandemic, during the pandemic, um, sometimes until I got myself together, I felt that way. Like I had no idea what was going on, what's going to happen, all these things. Um, but through that process, I learned that I needed to do what I've always done, which was to lean on God, to lean on God, to lean on a higher power of my personal understanding. And that would be God for me, whatever it is for you. But that is what needs to happen. That's what has needed to happen. Because I don't want to talk about current. I'm talking about this is something that we as a community need in our lives. We would not have fear and anxiety and, scared of this, that, and the other thing. Oh, I can't go over here because this is going to happen to me. I can't go into that neighborhood. I can't, I'm scared to go here, or I'm scared to do this, or whatever. Like, yeah, we all need a personal relationship with a higher power. Mine would be God, like I said before. We're in some pretty interesting, some would say crazy, some would say scary times. And what he really wants us to know is that he's reaching out individually to each and every one of us. But it's whether or not you're going to take the call, take the urge, take the nudge, or whether or not you're going to get it or not. Right? Because one thing that I learned unequivocally through my own personal healing journey is that I am not in control. And the more that I feel like I'm in control of my own life, the more I lose. Like the more that all of these different feelings and emotions come in, depression, I can go on and on. But the moment that you take time to literally stop, breathe, surrender, and ask for direction, grace, favor, and things of that nature, the more that God will come in and take over. And if you allow him to lead, he will lead you, and you won't have to worry about a thing, not one thing. And so I really just wanted to say that, I am in the process of putting together something that I think that will help those who this message resonates with. Obviously, this message is not going to resonate with everyone, but who it does resonate with. And I'm hoping that I'm talking to those people who don't know how to do what I just talked about. what I just said, who is looking for someone to help them with this process, whether it be being quiet or being still or breathing or surrendering or praying and so on and so forth. Because this message is not for everyone. It's for those who are actually looking for a solution to how they're feeling. It's for those who are searching for someone to guide them through what it is that we're going through, because we really are just at the beginning. We are just at the beginning of this thing. And so rest assured that you can be rest assured in these type of times. It just takes a little bit of work for you. It just takes a little bit of work. So I just wanted to be obedient. I really just wanted to come on and share this with you that, excuse me, if you are searching for what to do, what to say, how to go about doing this, let me just give you some examples. Even in 2020, even though I have this, unwavering faith and things of that nature, you still can get caught up in the masses and what's going on in the world and things of that nature. And I found myself like very fearful, very scary, like even when I used to go for my walks and things of that nature. And it was only because I was taking in so much information from the outside world. And it was overarching information, even though I was checking in with God every day and stuff like that. But the more that you put these type of things in your mind, in your head, and you don't give yourself space, you don't give yourself time, you don't give yourself, I really just want to say that these things need to be turned off, or you need to set boundaries when it comes to this kind of stuff. So the news is everywhere, right? The current events are everywhere. Unfortunately, they're on our phones and stuff. So we don't even go to like the TV like we used to back in the day. It's everywhere. It follows us. But it's up to us to create boundaries. It's up to us to be in control of what it is that we're taking in, right? And so just an example, like instead of you getting up in the morning and, before work or whatever the case may be, instead of you getting up in the morning and looking at your phone or looking at your computer or checking your emails or whatever, how about you don't do any of that stuff until maybe you get to work? Or how about you don't do any of that stuff in the morning, period? How about you spend, let's just start in the beginning stages. How about you spend 10 minutes with God? How about you listen to some praise and worship? How about you journal? How about you breathe? How about you meditate? I mean, you can pick one or the other, or you can do all. It doesn't matter. But how about you set boundaries for all of this stuff, this information coming into your life, to your world on a constant basis? Like you're scrolling. An hour goes by, 2 hours goes by, and you're seeing all of these different things all day. How else is that supposed to show up in your life? I mean, just think about it, really. How else is it supposed to show up in your life? But if you have boundaries, and let's say you give yourself, I'll be a little generous. Let's just say you give yourself 2 hours a day, maybe an hour in the morning and maybe an hour in the evening. That's a huge deduction from what it is that you're doing now, right? Because it's not controlled. But In order for you to stay, for some, sane, right, it would behoove you to minimize anything that is not for your greatest and highest good. And, you know, seeing people getting killed, seeing death, destruction, seeing things that make you fearful 24/7, 365 is not good for you either. Seeing people arguing and fighting and people are not getting along. This person's doing this and this. Men are against women, women against men, like all of these different subjects, people getting, murdered. People getting murdered, and we're witnessing it, we're watching it, we're discussing it. Not to say that we should not have empathy for these people or whatever, but just think about what I'm saying right now. Just think about it. You've got these repeating things going on in your world 24/7, 365, food shortages, killings, murders, arguing, fighting. Debates, just so much stuff. And most of it, unless you've chosen to not see that kind of stuff, is negative. Because you can choose your feed. You can set your feed up that you see only, good things and positive things and motivational and inspirational things, but you would have to do that also on purpose. So these are just suggestions. Every morning, excuse me, I journal. And I found myself, because I too have spent too much time on social media recently, that I found myself kind of dump journaling. And what I mean by dump journaling is I have found myself a lot of times talking to God about how I feel, talking to God about things that are happening around me, and not so much talking to Him about what it is that He has for me, or what it is that He would have me to do, or where He would have me to go, or what He would have me to say and to whom. And so I think this message is also for me, because of certain things that have taken place recently, I have been on social media more than I need to be. So I'm not preaching to you. I'm talking to you about what it is that I'm doing as well. And I just really want to emphasize this, because as much as you might be addicted to your phone, addicted to your computer, or whatever the case may be, or, whatever, even if it's a podcast or whatever the case may be, no one's telling you that you can't indulge in those things. I'm just saying that maybe those things need to be minimized. Maybe they need to be thought of in a different way. And definitely you need to put boundaries, right? Set your phone on a timer so that you can only go on social media for an hour or two a day, right? And then it cuts you off. Or like me, I put my phone on, I think it's like maximum optimized or whatever, which means that it shuts down it shuts down everything on my phone except for a couple of apps. And most of those apps are not, Instagram, TikTok, like all of that is shut down. So I can't even get to them. And it doesn't give me access. So therefore my life, my day, I don't get the notifications and all this other stuff, or whatever the case may be. And my life is much more peaceful when I do that on purpose. And so I have an Android, so I don't know what you do with the iPhone, but I'm sure the iPhone has something very similar. Be purposeful in your pursuit for happiness, for peace, for joy, for forgiveness, for building your faith, for knowing that you are covered, knowing that you are in God's hands and that there's nothing to worry about. Maybe you need to prepare, or maybe you need to do something else, but the fact that you don't need to be scared, don't need to be, you don't need to be so anxious, so scared, so depressed, so withdrawn and things of that nature. And then even when you're feeling that way, now you're adding to how you're feeling with the phone, the computer, the whatever you're indulging in, that is not for your greatest and highest good. And when I say if it's not for your greatest and highest good, I mean things that don't make you feel good, things that make you feel anxious, things that make you feel fearful, things that make you feel like you're out of control and you don't know what to do. That's not a good feeling, and it doesn't do anything for you. And so I am sharing this with you because I really want you to get down in the comments and tell me, share with me, how are you feeling right now? And let me know, if there's something that you want me to share with you. I'm more than willing. One of the things that I really would like to share, though, is, when I first started this journey of building my relationship with God, I started off really, really small. I think that you could just start with something as simple as gratitude. What are you grateful for? What are you grateful for that you have right now? Not for what you want to get or where you want to go or whatever, but what do you have right now that you can be happy about and genuinely grateful for? And if you don't know how to pray or you don't know what to say the Lord's Prayer. It's powerful. Recite the 23rd Psalm. Look it up and recite it. Such a powerful song. There are others, but these are just my favorites. Or repeat Ephesians 3:20. It's one of my favorite scriptures. So don't worry about whether or not you know how to pray or not. Pick one of those, do all three. It doesn't matter. Just do something. Do something. And when I say praise and worship, whatever songs that you like, I happen to enjoy Kirk Franklin and have enjoyed him for several years, but there's so many gospel artists that you can listen to. And it's not really about the artist. It's about the song and the words and how it heals you, how it touches you, how it helps you in your pursuit for God. Because if there is not a time ever, there's a great need for all of us to have a relationship with God. Not all of these other things that people are talking about. I'm talking about your own personal relationship with God. You and God, you and God, you and God. Not the pastor, not the scriptures, not any of that. You having your own personal relationship with God. You having your own faith and trust that He has your back no matter what. Wow. That's what I'm talking about. And you can build that relationship if you're willing to do some things, if you're willing to change some things, if you're willing to grow that relationship, because it doesn't have anything to do with anything else besides your effort to seek Him first. Listen for what it is that He has to tell you. Like I just did. I literally was getting ready to lay down and take a nap. And He spoke to me. And I got up, I got my phone, and I started recording. So I just wanted to come and say this because I feel very strongly that this message needs to be said. That there are people out here that are so lost, and I used to be there as well. I used to be in the same situation where I was just like, I don't know what to do. And there were plenty of people out here speaking about different things, but it didn't resonate with me. And so I created my own personal set of things that work for me, that resonated with me. And I really do want to share that with a couple of people that would like to join me in that. I will be creating a sign up, like just a wait list until I actually launch this thing. But I really do want to encourage anyone that is interested in what it is that I'm talking about. And what I'm talking about is building your own personal relationship with God, so that all of these feelings, all of these negative feelings, all of these scary, anxious, all of this nervousness and feeling out of control and things of that nature can really cease. And you can give it to God and know that you will be taken care of. So I just wanted to share this with you. I really do want you to comment if there's anything that you're going through, if you are scared, if you are nervous. Take some of my suggestions. Minimize the phone, minimize the outside noise. Let me just call it that, so I don't have to specifically say whatever it is, because it doesn't necessarily have to be social media or TV or whatever. It could be people. It could be your man. It could be your woman. It could be your friends. It could be, it could be things that are not serving you. Whatever is not serving you, whatever does not make you feel good, whatever makes you confused and scared and nervous and all that other stuff, those things really do need to go. Because they're not for your greatest and highest good. But sometimes it might take a while, especially if you're just starting out and you're not really realizing that this is just from my own personal observation. There's a lot of good people in this world. But what we see more often than not is the bad people of this world. And it's really concerning that the bad people, quote unquote, seem to just be everyday people. Right? That could be your friends or family members or coworkers or whatever. And that is concerning as well. Right? So we have to be stewards of our own mental health, of our own physical and emotional and spiritual health. We have to take control so that we can govern ourselves accordingly. And God is just sitting and waiting for us. He sees all and He wants to be there for you, but you definitely have to make the first move. There are a lot of people out here that are doing blasphemous things, that are steering people in the wrong direction and things of that nature. For me, the only direction that you need to go in is building and having a personal relationship with God. Because all great things come from that. All great things come from there. There's absolutely nothing to worry about when you have your own personal relationship with God. nothing. So let me know in the comments. Let me see. If you're interested in what I am putting together, put a 1 in the message. I'm sorry, in the comments as well. Just put a 1 so that I know, or maybe I'll just send you the link once I get it together personally from this message. But I really just wanted to be obedient and come on and speak to you. Yeah. So I'm gonna go. Thank you so much, Soul Food Family, for listening to me. I wish you well. I wish you peace. I wish you happiness. I wish you joy. I wish you mental calmness, right? I wish you peace. And yeah, this message is for who it's for. And if it has resonated with you at all, please let me know. Until we meet again, Soulful Family, thank you so much for listening.